Good morrow, scholars. Welcome back to Survive the Night. Sorry, I just yawned right before I started recording, and I was trying to stifle a yawn. Iggy is currently sunbathing. Glaring at me too, by the way. Oh, I was telling my sister, one of the reasons why I'm a little bit late today is I had to wake up early and take my sister so she could go to her band practice. And I was telling her, every morning when I wake up and I say my morning prayers, Iggy jumps up on the wall to his cage and tries to bite me. So I'm starting to think he might be possessed. Anyway, where were we? We were on chapter 7, I'm pretty sure, because that looks familiar and this doesn't. Page 81. Sam pulls me to my feet. "We're a mess," he says. I try to laugh, but it sounds hollow. Blue paint drips from Sam's t-shirt and stains his jeans. I lift my hand to wipe a smudge of yellow off his chin, but Sam clears his throat and looks over his shoulder before I can touch him. What? Oh, okay, that's what I remembered. Gotcha. Frowning, I let my arm drop back to my side. I glance down at myself instead. Red and green handprints cover my back, my black t-shirt and jeans, and there's blue paint splattered over my feet. "Think there's somewhere we can clean up?" Sam asks. "Don't think you're going to find a bathroom down here." I wipe my paint-covered hands on my jeans, but there's nothing I can do about my feet. I slip them into my flats, leaving blue smudges on the leather. "Come on," Sam says, nodding at a keg sitting in the corner. "Let's find something to drink." I hesitate. Beer's probably not a good idea. For me, at least. "Water, then." A real smile crosses his face, crinkling the corners of his eyes. It's enough to calm the butterflies in my gut. That's nice. Sam grabs his sneakers and takes my hand, pulling me into the crowd. His skin feels chalky from the dried paint and a little sweaty. I don't want him to let go, but he releases his grip when we shuffle to the end of the drinks line. "Isn't that Shanna?" he says, nodding at a blonde head in the crowd, around the keg. I cup my hands around my mouth. "Shanna!" I call, and she whips around, holding two bright red Solo cups. We carry those at Walmart, and I always want to throw them. "Hey, I was just looking for you two," she says. She hands me a Solo cup. "It's soda," she says when I make a face. "Don't get your panties in a twist," and I'm uncomfortable. "Yum," I say, taking a sip. "This is perfect, thanks." Shanna shifts her eyes to Sam. "Woody was looking for you," she says. "He found some guys who want to jam. You in?" Sam glances at me. "I didn't bring my guitar." "They had stuff," Shanna says. Sure." Sam crosses his arms over his chest. "You coming?" he asks. He stares at my chin instead of meeting my eyes. "Yeah." I bite my lip to keep from frowning. Shanna grabs Sam's arm. "Here, let me show you where they're all set up," she says, and pulls him into the crowd. "Wait, didn't you want a drink?" I shout. Sam turns and lifts his hand to his ear, frowning. "Didn't you?" I start again, but he shakes his head to show that he can't hear me over the music. "Never mind," I mutter, tagging along after them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Have you ever yawned so much that you felt like you were about to pass out? We hop off the platform and follow the tunnels deeper underground. Shanna Blanches balances on one of the thick rails, holding her arms out to either side. "Why don't people run off to join the circus anymore?" She wobbles, but catches herself just before she loses her balance. Beer sloshes over the rim of her solo cup. I'd be insane on the tightrope. You just want an excuse to wear a sparkly leotard. I am never going to wear one of those. I promise. Where was I? I avert my eyes as we walk past a couple making out by the side of the tracks. Shanna spins on her rail. I'd look great in a leotard, she says. She wobbles again. I grab for her arm, but Sam reaches her first. He holds her elbow until she regains her balance. I grit my teeth and kick an empty PBR can. It ricochets off a rusted rail and rolls to a stop in front of a silver subway car. Graffiti covers the windows, making it impossible to see inside. Woody's voice echoes down the tunnel, screeching the words to a popular Feelings Are Enough song. Sam pulls himself onto the platform, then leans over to offer me a hand. Thanks, I say, hopping up next to him. A dull ache shoots through my knee. I wince and scramble to my feet, trying to stretch my leg as we walk. We join a line of people trying to push through the narrow subway car. The car's tiny, but 100 people are jammed inside. Orange and pink glow in the dark necklaces glimmer from their necks and wrists, and they wave glow sticks above their heads. A thick cloud of marijuana smoke gathers at the top of the subway car. Are you ready for some music? Woody yells. If I squint, I can see him standing on a cracked yellow seat in the middle of the car. A faded subway map stretches across the wall behind him. I wonder if that's going to be important. Woody's gone full cow, with the costume zipped over his chest and a plastic nose strapped over his real one. A black and white tail swings between his legs, and he has 15 glowy pink necklaces dangling from his neck. I remember going to a local amusement park, we'll say, even though it's like 3 hours out of the way or something, and seeing all these people with the glow sticks and all the ones, wrapped around and everything, being a kid, and never getting one. It's just because they ran out by the time we found where they sold them. Every time. Where was I? The crowd cheers. I spot Aya wrapped around a silver pole in the middle of the car, pumping her fists in the air. Wispy black strands of hair hang in front of her face. I search for Julie's bushy curls, but I don't see her. Come on, Shanna shouts over the cheering. She and Sam duck through the wall of people and disappear into the smoky car. I try to follow, but another jab of pain shoots through my knee. Grimacing, I step out of the doorway and lean against a graffiti-covered window. I squint through the glass, watching Sam wade through the crowd and crawl onto the seat next to Woody. Someone hands him a guitar, and he ducks his head to play. Disappointment rolls through me. I thought I felt something shift when we were playing Twister, but Sam doesn't even scan the crowd to see if I'm watching. I sigh and make my way farther down the platform to look for Julie instead. I refuse to be the girl who hangs around her ex-boyfriend when he obviously doesn't want her there. It's better that I give him a chance to miss me. Julie's thick curls usually make her pretty easy to find, but it's so crowded down here that I can barely see 2 feet in front of me. I push my way through the partiers, wondering if she found a bathroom to hide in, like she did the night she came with Shanna and me to the rave at the pool. She spent the entire night huddled in the back of the handicapped stall. Learn the secrets of your future, only a nickel, she had said when Shanna and I finally came to find her. A lit joint was balanced on her knee. I dug a nickel out of my pocket and handed it to her. Your aura's yellow, she said, sliding the nickel into her combat boot. It means you're cheerful and good-natured, but easily led astray. That's not the future, I pointed out. Julie picked up her joint with 2 fingers. Your good nature will lead you to love, she said, and love will lead you to danger. A toilet flushed and Shanna threw open her stall door. Where was I? The hard plastic slapped against the wall. You're cracked, Jules, she said, switching on a faucet. Sam's a Boy Scout. No danger there. Julie leveled her eyes at Shanna. She took a puff of her joint, and smoke curled up toward the ceiling. There are many different kinds of love, she said. Techno music blasts from a set of wireless speakers, sending a deep... I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Trembling through the air and the ground. I think I see someone with dark, bushy hair, and I grab her arm. But when she turns around, I see that it's really a he, and his hair is actually a fake-looking wig. That's awkward. Where was I? You're pretty, someone shouts. I turn, and a skeletally, what? Thin boy wearing goth makeup grabs my hand and pulls me into the crowd. Whoa! I say, stumbling after him. He yanks me toward a thick group of gyrating people and grabs my hips. For a second, I consider dancing with him. I even sneak a glance over my shoulder to see whether Sam's watching through the subway car window. Then I realize what I'm doing and I pull away, disgusted with myself. No thanks, I say, untangling myself from Goth Boy's arms. I'm not that desperate. I take another drink of soda. It's warm now, but the air is so muggy down here that I don't mind. Everyone's sticky and sweaty and way, way too close. I would never go there if only for those reasons. I wanted to say that reason, but then yeah. A sparkler crackles to life a few feet away, and people around me whoop and cheer. I wince, imagining a spark landing on my bare arm. That hurts. I duck away before someone else can force me to dance. The crowd thins out farther down the platform. I move around a boarded-off staircase and crouch beside the subway car to catch my breath. Candles sit along the steps in front of me, held in place with pools of sticky wax. I lean against the cool metal subway car and take another swig of soda, wishing I'd asked Shanna for a little whiskey. At least then I'd be having fun. Someone sniffles, quietly at first, and then louder. It almost sounds like a sob. I stand and peek into the subway car behind me. It's so dark that it takes a second for my eyes to adjust to the light. 2 kids huddle against the far door, looking down at something in their hands. I squint and move closer. A lighter sparks. The flayed man of bolt. Never mind. The flame illuminates a kid with long, stringy hair. White powder crackles from the spoon he holds with trembling fingers. Shock roots my feet to the ground. Smoke floats lazily toward the top of the subway car. I curl my fingers around the subway door and inhale the sweet, smoky scent. Everything in me wants to crawl into that tiny car and breathe in deep. I can almost feel the drugs clouding my brain. I stumble back so quickly that I slam into the staircase. Smoke drifts toward me, beckoning. I clench my eyes shut, my head throbbing. I fumble for my purse, then freeze, remembering that Shanna took my Tylenol. Suddenly the dancing and the cheering feels like an assault. The air in these tunnels is too thin. I gulp down mouthful after mouthful and still feel like I can't breathe. A dull ache flickers through my skull. I grit my teeth together and press my fingers against my temples. I stumble forward and Goth Boy's there again, grabbing for my arm. Hey, beautiful, he starts. I pull away, trying to move around him, but I stumble and then I'm next to the wall, my face pressed against the smooth, cold bricks. Lights and colors and music pound around me. Hey, Goth Boy says. Are you okay? Water, I murmur. No! This close. The ground lurches beneath me. I stumble, smacking my shoulder against the wall. I try to push myself away from the wall, but the tile is warm to the touch, and the heat seeps into my fingers. I can't move my hand. It feels like I've plunged it into a pool of tar. Gothboy disappears, but I don't know whether he's really going to get me water or not. Black spots appear before my eyes. I take another drink of soda, surprised to find the cup nearly empty. I feel woozy. I want to sit down, but there's nowhere to sit. I feel woozy, and I am sitting down. Casey? I blink several times, and then Shanna is there. Thank goodness. Her pink hair looks even pinker, if that's possible, and it's so beautiful and so perfect that I want to bury my face in it. I reach for her, but she's too far away, and my fingers just close around air. Whoa, you don't look so good, Shanna says, but she's smiling. Why is she smiling? I don't know what's happening, I say. My words slide together. I feel so... high. I think, but don't say. I can't be high. The only drug I've had tonight is caffeine. I'm your fairy godmother, I remember Shanna puffing on her cigarette, a mischievous look in her eye. What did you do? Have I mentioned lately how much Iggy hates Boots, one of my cats? I glance down at my cup, the cup Shanna gave me. The last sip of liquid rolls around on the bottom. What did you do? I ask. I blink and my cup splits in two. What? Shanna giggles. I'm helping you relax, she says, clamping a hand down on my shoulder. You should thank me. The two cups merge back into one again, but it's too big now. I don't know how to hold it. You drugged me, I say. My voice sounds far away. Shanna presses my bottle of Tylenol into my hand. My fingers curl around it automatically. You're welcome, she whispers. Well, that's not good. Okay, I guess we're taking bets. Who's going to make it to the end of the book alive? I only think of two that I think I would want to survive, and they're not the ones you think. Oh my gosh, I have a Harry Potter scarf in the closet. I should have taken it to the party. I'm stupid. What was I talking about? Oh, anyway, let me know if you can guess which are the two characters I think are for sure going to make it to the end of the book. And I'll tell you if you're right, and who knows, maybe you'll get a special prize of some sort. I try to do that as often as I can on this channel, like I did for Five Nights at Freddy's: The Silver Eyes. Unfortunately, no one ever actually won because the contest was about who could point out something from the book that was a reference to the games that I didn't mention in the videos. Oh well, anyway, let me know what you guys think, what you guys think I think, and what you think of that, and just keep thinking. I am really out of it. Anyway, until next time, goodbye everybody. I need to take some medicine. No, not like that, I just realized